It's a shorter trading week in energy, but we already got a couple of stocks that are looking pretty hot in the space. And here to talk to us about it again today is Dan Dicker. Dan, thanks for being here as always.
Okay, Joe.
So we've got two stocks that we're going to look at. We're going to look at Tesla and Solar City. What are you liking about Solar City stock?
Well, Solar City, I think I have to weigh in on because I'm supposedly the energy expert here. And in some ways, this has been the hottest of the energy stocks around. And fundamentally speaking, there's really not a lot to like. They had over $100 million loss for the quarter, and their valuation is up. I think their market cap somewhere around $2.6 billion. And they've only got really a quarterly revenue source on leases of around 15 million. So we're really talking drop in the bucket on revenue. But what is strong about them is quite obviously the same thing that makes Tesla so strong, and that is their CEO, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that we have these kinds of real visionaries that come into the financial marketplace, once in a generation. Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. I mean, he's proved himself through the PayPal deal, through SpaceX, a number of other things. I mean, he truly is the kind of guy that it's hard to ignore, and it's hard for investors to ignore. And in some ways, that's the kind of wild card, this kind of visionary who makes the fundamental valuations of these companies practically impossible.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Elon Musk is well known not just in the energy world, but beyond that. People who are just going onto the internet to check on their Google, hey, what's going on with Elon Musk? So you think that the company benefits simply because of the brain behind it?
That's correct. And in fact, if you looked at something like Apple, in the 90s and said, they're screaming away at a valuation that doesn't really, that their revenues don't suggest, what you do get is you get a company that does grow into its revenues at some point, which Apple quite obviously did, and many times over that. So that is the counter argument for non-fundamental analysis on something like Solar City, that Elon Musk is that strong of a man. And he's not the only one who believes that. I mean, Goldman Sachs has entered into basically an endless kind of financing deal so that Solar City will not run out of money as it pursues this very long-term plan of gaining a whole bunch of subscribers that pay across very long periods, mostly 20-year contracts. It's an interesting model. It's clearly way ahead of its skis right now in terms of valuation, but it's something that, if you're betting on somebody who is a visionary of a generation like Elon Musk, I wouldn't do that. There's no way I would short this stock, and I can actually give it a blessing if you wanted to get long this over the long haul, even though you are not likely, but you're very apt to get a down move at any moment of 25 to 30% in the stock. So you should have some money in it as a speculative thing to be part of what a man's vision is, especially one as famous as Elon Musk is and will continue to be. But don't bet the farm. That's my advice. To me, in this case, the fundamentals are worth ignoring.
And let's look at his other company, Tesla. Tesla is very well known. What do people love so much about this company?
Again, it's the same thing. There are the model on revenues, again, would make a fundamentalist cry, and the valuation is just not there. It's all about Elon Musk, and it's about his vision for an electric car. And again, I would not bet against this. There was no way I would be short this. Now, whether I would be long a lot, that's also, for me, never the case. But I will bless it as a speculative stock and a small, with a small piece of your portfolio.
Sure, and even an anecdotal note, I mean, you can go and play the Gran Turismo video game, and you can race in a Tesla Roadster.
It's a great looking car. It's really cool. And sometimes, that's enough to get investors going. It's really cool. And that's what Elon Musk's all about. He's really cool.
Great. Well, Dan, as always, thanks so much.
Okay, Joe.
You heard it from Dan. Elon Musk, the brain behind Solar City and Tesla, he likes that enough to say that this stock is maybe something you want to get into. I'm Joe Deaux, TheStreet.